Last term cos 2 pi 1 plus 1 by 5 of n can be arranged as so it is like sin 2 pi k plus theta is equal to cos of theta. So we can write directly 10 cos of 2 pi 1 by 5 of n. Then if you see the first and last term, both are same, only the amplitude for first term is 5 and last term is 10. That's why we can directly add this. So it becomes 10 plus 5 is equal to 15 cos of 2 pi 1 by 5 of n plus sine 2 pi inside bracket minus 2 by 5 of n. And again we know a standard formula, that is sine minus of theta is equal to minus sine theta. So according to that one, we can write x of n is equal to 15 cos of 2 pi 1 by 5 of n minus 3 sine 2 pi 2 by 5 of n. So we can simplify this up to this stage. Or त्यांना lecture चालू आहे माझं. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. In exam, you leave up to the first stage, that is x of n is equal to 5 cos of 2 pi n by 5 plus 3 sin 6 pi n by 5 plus 10 cos of 12 pi n by 5. Then also you will get full marks. Then according to this, the last output of the second problem or second sub problem, that is the x of n is equal to 15 cos of and minus 3 sin of. Now the third sub problem was what is the analog signal y80 that can be reconstructed if ideal interpolation is used. So in second sub problem, you have the discrete time signal. By using that discrete time signal, again you have to obtain the original analog signal. How? That n is replaced by small t. So we know the relation between small n and small t, that is t is equal to nts. Correct? So by putting that t is equal to nts here, then this n is equal to t into fs. It becomes t upon ts. So this n is equal to t into fs, and we know fs is equal to 5000, that is given. So this n is replaced by 5000 t in this equation. N is replaced by 5000 t, then you will get the original signal. It is noted by ya of t. Correct? So this was the problem. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This type of problems are asked in exam for 6 marks. Now, take next one. What should be the sampling frequency to avoid aliasing for an analog signal represented as x of t is equal to cos of 150 pi t plus 2 sin 300 pi t minus 4 cos of 600 pi t. Obtain the discrete time signal if this sequence is sampled at fs is equal to 400 hertz. Does aliasing occur? If yes, calculate the aliased frequencies from the original frequencies. Read this problem carefully and write it. Again, this is university question. Finished?
Done, sir.
Okay.
sir.
The original signal or a continuous time signal is given. X of t is equal to that one. And in first sentence, they asked what should be the sampling frequency to avoid aliasing. So how we can avoid the aliasing effect?
FS has
is
to be
greater than
greater
the-
than equal to FM, 2FM.
Twice of FM. FM is the maximum frequency of analog signal. So how to obtain, if you see the analog signal, given analog signal, it has total 3 terms. If the number of terms, depending on that one, number of frequencies are there. So according to that one, this signal having 3 frequencies, F1, F2 and F3. First you obtain F1, F2 and F3 and tell me which one is the maximum frequency.
F3.
F3.
F3, 300.
How much it is?
300 hertz.
Hertz.
300 hertz. Okay, so F3 you consider as a F max. So F max is equal to 300 hertz, and then you find out the sampling frequency, Fs. That Fs should be greater than or equal to twice of F max. So F max is equal to 300 hertz. That's why your sampling frequency becomes 600.
600 hertz. 600 hertz.
So your sampling frequency should be greater than or equal to 600 hertz to avoid the aliasing. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, obtain the discrete time signal if this sequence is sampled at Fs is equal to 400 hertz. Again, it is same as previous problem, correct? So, analog signal is given, then you have to find out the discrete time signal where the sampled frequency is Fs is equal to 400 hertz. So, how to obtain the discrete time signal? By using continuous signal or analog signal?
Putting t is equal to xt.
Yes, by putting t is equal to small t is equal to nts. Ts is equal to 1 by Fs. So t is equal to small t is equal to n by Fs. Fs is given 400 hertz. Then the small t is replaced by n divided by 400. Like this. T is replaced by nts. T is equal to n by Fs. It is equal to n by 400 in original equation. Then you put that value and find out x of n. Finished? Okay. And the last part is that does aliasing occur for fs is equal to 400 hertz?
Yes, sir.
Others?
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Why? Why?
Because it is less than twice that much.
For original signal, for original continuous time signal, what is the sampling frequency to avoid aliasing?
600 hertz.
600 hertz.
Okay. And in second part, the signal is sampled at fs is equal to 400 hertz. Okay. So it is less than your sampling frequency. That's why aliasing occur. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Take next. An analog signal contains frequencies up to 10 kilohertz. What range of sampling frequencies allows exact reconstruction of this signal from its samples? If the signal is sampled with a sampling frequency, fs is equal to 8 kilohertz, what is the folding frequency? Examine what happens to the frequency f1 is equal to 5 kilohertz and examine what happens to the frequency f2 is equal to 9 kilohertz. Write it. Finished?
No, sir.
An analog signal contains frequency up to 10 kilohertz. What is this?
Maximum frequency is 10
Yes,
kilohertz.
yes, yes. The
FM.
analog signal with the maximum frequency of 10 kilohertz. Write down F max is equal to 10 kilohertz. Then what range of sampling frequencies allows exact reconstruction of signal from its samples? Hmm? So it means that you have to find out the sampling frequency which avoid the aliasing effect. Hmm? If aliasing effect is not there, then you can easily reconstruct that signal. So in first sub problem, you have to find out the sampling frequency. How much it is?
20 kilohertz.
20 kilohertz.
kilohertz.
Fs
20
is greater
kilohertz.
than or equal to 20 kilohertz. Sampling frequency allows exact reconstruction is Fs greater than equal to twice of F max. Then here the new term is that folding frequency. Folding frequency is also called as a Nyquist frequency. You can write folding frequency is also called as Nyquist frequency. And that Nyquist frequency is half of the Nyquist rate. Nyquist frequency or folding frequency is half of the Nyquist rate. It is called as a folding frequency. So F fold is equal to Fs by 2, which is equal to 8 by 2. That means it is equal to 4 kilohertz. Okay. Now, examine what happens to the frequency f1 is equal to 5 kilohertz and f2 is equal to 9 kilohertz. If the frequency or the maximum frequency you can say is 5 kilohertz and if the maximum frequency is 9 kilohertz, what happens? Aliasing occur or not occur? That was the question. So for a frequency, yes, for a frequency f1 5 kilohertz, its sampling frequency become 10 kilohertz, but the requirement is 20 kilohertz. So aliasing occur. Now in second case, f2 is equal to 9 kilohertz. For that, fs becomes 18 kilohertz, but the requirement is 20 kilohertz. Again, aliasing occurs. Take next as a homework. Consider the following analog sinusoidal signal. X a of t is equal to 3 sine 100 pi t. Sketch the signal for 0 to 30 millisecond. The signal x a of t is sampled with a sampling rate fs is equal to 300 samples per second. Determine the frequency of discrete time signal x of n is equal to x a of nt for t is equal to 1 by f and show that it is periodic. And last one, compute the sample value in one period of xn. Sketch x of n on the same diagram with x a of t. What is the period of discrete time signal in milliseconds?
सर
Hmm?
काही मुलं आहेत जे जॉईन होऊ शकत नाही अजून.
2 minutes. प्रॉब्लेम काय आहे इथं मला तर
Excuse me, sir.
हम्म.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर, एक इशू आता है कि अगर बाय एनी रीजन किसी का वाईफाई या डेटा फ्लक्चुएट होके बंद हो जाता है 1 मिनट के लिए, तो वो वापस आस्क टू ज्वाइन करना पड़ता है एंड तभी टीचर्स का ध्यान नहीं जाता है.
नहीं,
तो
अभी
फॉर
नहीं,
दैट
हम-
1 सेकेंड का फॉर दैट इशू सर वो बहुत
हाँ,
टाइम
हाँ,
रुकना
हाँ.
पड़ता है फिर.
नहीं प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि उस पे हमने सॉल्यूशन निकाला है कि एक एक लैब असिस्टेंट एक एक क्लास के लिए दिया है, वो कंटिन्यूसली बैठा है, जिसका भी रिक्वेस्ट आता है उसको ऐड करता है.
ओके सर.
हाँ, अभी देखो स्क्रीन मैंने ऑन किया है लेकिन रिक्वेस्ट तो नहीं आया एक भी मुझे.
टाइम आउट होतो थोड्या वेळाने.
ठीक आहे, त्यांना परत रिजॉईन करायला सांगा. मी थांबतो वाटलंच तर 1-2 मिनिट. कथाळे सर. तुझ्याकडे काही रिक्वेस्ट येत आहेत का? एक काम कर, त्यांना परत एकदा जॉईन व्हायला सांग बरं, जे मुलांचे काही प्रॉब्लेम आहेत त्यांना. चालेल चालेल. हो हो हो. Okay. Can you give hint for this? How to solve it? The original analog signal is given 3 sine 100 pi t. In first case, they asked sketch the signal for 0 to 30 millisecond. Now, x-axis is time, correct, and y-axis is the amplitude. 0 to 30 millisecond. Now, it depends on you. The period you can take from 0 to 5 millisecond, 10 millisecond, 15 millisecond, 20 millisecond, 25 millisecond, and 30 millisecond. So according to that one, you put the value of t. First, t is equal to 0. For 0, sine of 0 is equal to
0.
0. Then you put
0.
Then you put 5. T is equal to 5. Then t is equal to 10. T is equal to 15, like this one. According to that one, you will get the value of xa of t. Then according to that one, you sketch it. The next, the signal xat is sampled with a sampling rate fs is equal to this. Determine the frequency of discrete time. X of n is equal to xa of nt. T is equal to 1 by f. Directly it is given. You can replace t is equal to nts. That means t is equal to n by fs. Fs is given, and then find out the discrete time signal and find out its frequency. Discrete time signal frequency. And in last case, compute the sample value in one period of xn. Sketch x of n on same diagram with xa of t for the comparison purpose. For the comparison purpose. What is the period of discrete time signal in millisecond? You solve it, and in next lecture again we will discuss it. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
try
yes,
to
sir.
solve it. You try to solve it.
Yes, sir.
Then in next lecture we start from
Yes,
this
sir.
problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then next is next point is actually mapping between analog and digital frequencies. So analog frequencies and digital frequencies. Here first we see the notation for analog frequency and notation for digital frequency. So analog frequency we know normally it is represented by f. Again, if there is a question of analog frequency and digital frequency, then there is a difference as a notation. So analog frequency is represented by capital F and digital frequency is represented by small f. Again, analog frequency is noted by a symbol. It is called as ohm actually, and digital frequency is noted by a symbol called as omega. Analog frequency ohm and digital frequency omega. These are the notations for analog frequencies and the digital frequencies. Now we have to find out the relation between or the mapping between these notations. ohm and omega. Now, to find out the relation, first we start with the sinusoidal signal. The standard equation for the continuous time, you can say, or the analog signal, it is represented as cos of ohm t plus phi. Generally, we say that it is cos of omega t plus phi. But for the analog signal representation, here we consider cos of ohm t plus phi. Now, to convert this analog signal into discrete time signal, usually we use t is equal to nts. So by replacing small t by nts, it will give cos of ohm nts plus phi. We called it as equation number 1. You can write it. What is omega? How we can write omega in terms of frequency? F.
Omega equal to 2 pi.
Omega is equal to 2 pi f. That time
2
you can
pi
write
f.
2 pi f. That time you can write omega is equal to 2 pi small f. In same way, how we can write ohm? Hmm?
2
Omega,
pi capital F.
yes, 2 pi capital F. Omega is equal to 2 pi small f and ohm is equal to 2 pi capital F. Now, in digital, the sinusoidal signal is represented as, digital में कैसा लिखेंगे? Discrete में cos of omega n plus phi.
Omega n, yes.
Cos of omega n plus phi. Called it as equation number 2. Now you compare equation number 1 and 2. Equation number 1 क्या है? Cos of ohm n ts plus phi and cos of omega n plus phi. By comparing equation number 1 and 2, we can write ohm ts is equal to omega. Is it correct? Inside bracket, the first term. N is common. That's why directly we can write omega is equal to ohm ts. And therefore, omega is equal to ohm divided by fs. So this is the relation between analog frequency and digital frequency. Omega is equal to ohm ts or omega is equal to ohm by fs. ठीक है? अरे समझ लेगा काय केले ते?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is only arrangement. You keep in mind omega is equal to ohm ts or omega is equal to ohm by fs. This is the relation between or the mapping of analog frequency to the digital frequency. Now its unit. The analog frequency is represented as radian per second and omega is represented in terms of radian only. You can write. Then frequency ranges. What is the range of analog frequency? Range of analog frequency.
Minus infinity to infinity.
Yes. Any analog signal which is present in the nature, which is present in the environment, its range is from minus infinity to plus infinity. Correct. That's why first we use a band limited filter to take a particular band in case of sampling process. ते आपण फर्स्ट लेक्चरला पाहिलेलं आहे. Okay. So analog frequency ranging from minus infinity to plus infinity. So analog frequency is represented as capital F or ohm. Now discrete time signals. Discrete time signal. We know the relation between digital frequency and analog frequency. Omega is equal to ohm by Fs. बरोबर आहे का? Omega is equal to ohm by Fs. Therefore, we can write ohm as a 2 pi f. So omega is equal to 2 pi f by Fs. Correct. Now here omega is equal to 2 pi f max. Omega is equal to 2 pi f max. And this f max is in terms of its sampling frequency. We can write it as f max is less than or equal to fs by 2. So here this omega is equal to 2 pi f max. So this f max is replaced by fs by 2, and this fs is as it is here. Actually, this one is omega is equal to 2 pi f max divided by fs. Do the correction. Here omega is equal to 2 pi f max by fs, and this f max is replaced by fs by 2. This one. Now here this fs get cancelled. This 2 and 2 get cancelled. Therefore omega is equal to pi. Now we know the signal appears at the both side, from means at the negative side and at the positive side. That's why here we consider omega is ranging from minus pi to plus pi. So this is the range of digital frequency, minus pi to plus pi. Okay. Now this omega is replaced by using its relation. Omega is equal to ohm by fs. This relation we use here. Omega is equal to ohm by fs. Therefore minus pi is less than ohm by fs is less than pi. By using that one, you can find out the range of analog frequency. So this range of analog frequency is minus pi fs to plus pi fs. Okay. So the relation between, or the mapping between analog frequency and digital frequency, the relation is omega is equal to ohm ts, or omega is equal to ohm by fs. Unit of analog frequency is radian per second. Digital frequency is radian. Then frequency range, analog frequencies are ranging from minus infinity to plus infinity. Digital frequencies are ranging from minus pi to plus pi. By using that one, it is the title is mapping. That's why here, by using the digital frequency range, we can calculate the analog frequency range. The analog frequency ohm is ranging from minus pi fs to plus pi fs. So if it is asked for 6 months, then you have to write all this. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
हाँ,
Yes, sir.
after ठीक है. Again, we review what we have seen in this lecture. We started with the basic elements of DSP. This is the block schematic to obtain analog signal into digital signal, again digital to analog. Anti-aliasing filter, sample and hold circuit, ADC, then it is given to the processor, processor process it, then it is given to the digital to analog, and then again it is given to the reconstruction filter to take the analog output. Then we have seen the advantages of digital over analog signal processing, versatility, repeatability, accuracy, remote processing, implementation of algorithms, easy upgradation, compatibility, and cheaper. Again, we have seen the disadvantages of digital, that is simply system is complex, then bandwidth limitation, power consumption, and cost. Then we have seen the sampling theorem. It is the sampling of signal and again a reconstruction of signal. Then we have seen how the analog signal is represented in its spectrum by using a Fourier transform. Again, we have seen how the sampled signal is represented in terms of its spectrum by using Fourier transform. Then this sampled signal is passing through the low pass filter having maximum frequencies minus FM2 plus FM to get the original signal. That is called as a reconstruction of signal. Then we have seen the cases where the aliasing occur. In case of Fs is equal to twice of Fmax, there is no any gap between the bands, and when the sampling frequency becomes less of twice of Fmax, then overlapping occur, then it is called as a aliasing. Then we have we solved 3 problems. One problem is for the homework. This is homework, and mapping between analog and digital frequencies. Only 2 points from these units are remaining. One is signal representation by using its vector and basis function. So in next lecture we will finish these 2 points and the first unit get over. Okay. याच्यामध्ये जर काही डाऊट असेल तर नेक्स्ट लेक्चर मध्ये डाऊट सॉल्विंग घेऊयात एक सुरुवातीला 5 ते 10 मिनिट, and then we will move towards the last point of this unit. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
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 कोण आहे? तनुजा जगताप. कॅमेरा ऑन ठेवायचे सगळ्यांनी.
सर नेक्स्ट लेक्चर याच लिंकवर होणार आहे का?
डोंट नो यार.
कौन सा लेक्चर है नेक्स्ट?
मॅम आल्यात.
तेच मी ऐकत होते गप्पा. हॅलो.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
आवाज येतोय ना?
गुड मॉर्निंग मॅम. गुड मॉर्निंग मॅम. गुड मॉर्निंग मॅम.
ओके.
हो मैम. गुड मॉर्निंग मैम.
गुड मॉर्निंग.
हो मॅम येतोय आवाज मॅम.
ठीक आहे ठीक आहे.
मैम
हाँ जस्ट
मैम थोड़े लोग हैं जिन लोगों ने लास्ट लेक्चर से आज टू ज्वाइन किया है लेकिन वो दिख नहीं रहा है गूगल मीट पे. तो आई थिंक एटलीस्ट 20 बच्चे हैं मैम जिनका ऐसा इशू आ रहा है.
हेलो. यहाँ पे हमें दिखते हैं ना कितने बच्चे हैं वो.
मैम दिख नहीं रहा
पद्मश्री,
है.
एक
मापारी
मिनट
सर को भी बोला था लेकिन दिख नहीं रहा है उनको और वो रिक्वेस्ट भेजे जा रहे हैं लेकिन फिर भी आपको आपके साइड पे नहीं दिख रहा है.
मैम नया लिंक
कॅमेरा
न्यू लिंक पाठवा ना.
हम न्यू लिंक
आता
क्रिएट
या
करा ना.
या लेक्चरला तर कंटिन्यूच करायला लागेल. परत त्याच्यात वेळ जाईल ना.
मॅम पण किती सारे
पहिल्या लेक्चरला ते जॉईन
स्टुडंट्स
होऊ
आहेत
शकले
ना.
नाहीत का?
मॅम ते रिक्वेस्ट पाठवत होते
नेहमी
पण
लागत नव्हतं.
तुमच्या साईडला ते दिसत नव्हता.
मॅम आता पण पाठवत होते.
हम
आणि
अभी भी
प्रेझेंट
रिक्वेस्ट सेंड कर
करायचं
रहे
असेल.
हो बहुत सारे.
हाँ क्या? तो नया मीटिंग का रिक्वेस्ट भेजू?
हाँ मैम
नया
पाठवा.
मीटिंग क्रिएट करूं?
हाँ
Yes,
मैम
ma'am.
प्लीज.
5-10 मिनट में फिर से ज्वाइन कर लो. अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम
ओके
है तो
मैम.
मुझे बोल दो. ठीक है?
येस
ओके
मॅम.
मैम.
ओके ओके.
थैंक यू मैम.
Yes, ma'am.
येस मॅम.
अगं कॅमेरा मध्ये नाही लागत. चेक कर बरं. मी काय म्हणे?
लिफ्ट करा रे.
अगोदर दिसत होतं ना. असेल तर मग लाव बघूया. काय लिंक पाठवायची.